Hey everybody, welcome to Love and Relo, the voice of the relocation industry. I am your host, Ben Cross, and I'm so blessed and honored to be here today with my friend, Johanna Lennartson, the managing director of Nimmersion out in Sweden. How are you doing today, Johanna?
I'm good, Ben. Thank you. How are you?
I know it's like dang near midnight where you are, but I'm bringing all this energy right now. You're probably like, it's sleepy time tea for you, but
Yes.
what time is it where you are, Johanna?
10 p.m.
Oh my gosh.
So it is bedtime.
Thank you for being here. Honestly, your sleep schedule is going to be all out of whack tomorrow. I'll let Lena know. You're working late. You know you should. You know what? If I yell like work-life balance so much over there, so just take the day off tomorrow. Just don't even go in. Just call it
I probably will. Friday as well.
Just call it good. This is great. Let's get. We're going to talk about all sorts of stuff. Get in the comments right now. Hit that like button. I want to know who you are, where you are. If you're in Sweden. If you're in the States, where are you? If you've ever been to Sweden, get in there. And IKEA doesn't count. Okay. You got to go all the way over there to the real place. Okay. You can't just eat the meatballs and call it good. You got to go. So let me know. We're going to be talking about work-life balance. We're going to be talking about DSP stuff. We're going to be talking about EuRA. EuRA just happened in Villamora.
It
Johanna,
did.
what was that like?
God, it was so much fun. We missed you, Ben.
I missed you
Next time
too.
we might see you. It was such a beautiful location this time. It was just great.
When is it not a beautiful location? I mean, all they do is go to resorts, it feels like.
But this time it was a bit extra. You had a marina on one side of the hotel with all the bars and restaurants, and at the other side of the hotel was this long, beautiful beach, and it was just amazing. But it was so cold.
It was cold.
It was cold. I was packed all my summer clothes. It was snowing in Stockholm when I left. I was just longing for some warm and nice weather, and then I got there, and there was an ice cold wind the whole week. But it was still beautiful, and we were mostly indoors. That was fine.
Yeah. Well, I want to hear more about it. I want to hear what do people actually do at EuRA. I want to hear all about this. I know you're on the executive committee for EuRA, so we're going to hear all about it. Where EuRA is coming to next. We got people checking in here. Hit that like button. Get in the comments if you want to talk about EuRA. If you want to talk about DSP stuff. If you want to talk about Europe, I mean, get in here. Look at this. Look at the boss lady checking in. She has the day off tomorrow after this. There you go. See that? Look at this.
Thank you, Lena.
That is amazing. All right. Love her. Been on the show a couple of times. Tracy here. Excited to see Johanna. Jillian checking in from Connecticut. Look at this. There's a conspiracy to give you time off. That's what they do in Sweden. They're just so nice about it. Everybody's working together, giving each other time off.
Yes.
Christelle. Love
Hi,
it.
Christelle.
I had such an amazing time with Christelle when I was over in Sevilla for EuRA, 2 years ago.
Oh,
yeah. We really connected and just spent a lot of time together. And it was just great to me. She's such a wonderful person. She's been on the show.
Amazing.
Yeah.
She was
Tracy.
in Portugal 2 weeks ago.
Oh, she doesn't miss. Yeah.
No, she doesn't.
They're telling me to join it. So where's it going to be next year?
Zagreb, Croatia.
I'm sorry, Zagreb?
Yes.
Okay, because it was in Croatia not
Dubrovnik.
too long. Dubrovnik, yeah.
2018.
Okay. Croatia's getting a lot of airtime right now. What are you looking into about Croatia next year for EuRA?
Well, I think it's going to be amazing as usual. I've not been there yet. I will be before the conference to check it out, and probably it's going to be warmer than Portugal.
Is it on the water as well?
No, it's not. Not this time. It's in the country. On the countryside.
Okay. Nice. Look at this. Annie checking in from Gloma HQ. Appreciate you. Farrell Elliott checking in from California. Several new mobility companies coming out of Sweden. Looking forward to this conversation. What's that about? Is there a mobility boom going on right now in Sweden?
Not that I know of, and we've been around since 1995, so we are not a newcomer anymore.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about, and I heard also that you won an award from the ARP recently as the European Destination Service Provider of the Year.
We did. They were kind enough to give that to us last year. Yes. Yeah, we're very thrilled about that. And I think, I mean, all of us are so passionate about what we do. And I think that our clients feel that we really care. And we get amazing feedback on the surveys that we send out to our clients. And we share that with the team every Friday afternoon. We share all the amazing feedback that we receive from clients during the week. And we have a celebration before the weekend. And just
you're going to miss that tomorrow. You're going to miss that now.
But you know, it's Thursday tomorrow, so I'm not going to miss it.
Oh, okay.
It's only Wednesday.
I don't even know.
So I'll be there for Friday afternoon with the celebrations.
You'll be back in time for the celebration.
Absolutely.
What's the key?
I have recovered by then.
What's the key to getting such high quality feedback from transferees?
Oh, I mean, walk the extra mile. Show that you care. And I think I've done this since 2007, and I started as a relocation consultant. I worked as an immigration consultant. I've done it all. I've worked my way up from the bottom. So I definitely know how the team feels and how I can support them to support the clients the best way possible. I think that's a key factor for us, at least.
That's a really incredible story. You said you started as a relocation consultant in 2007?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Wow. First of all, why did you get into this crazy business anyway?
Oh, that was by accident. I had no idea what we were doing for the first 3 months, I think.
Just celebrating feedback. Like, oh, we celebrate feedback again today? I guess we're just celebrating feedback.
Oh, God. No,
is it time to go to Portugal yet? What are we...
That's what we do. No, I worked in restaurants when I was studying. So at first I was, thinking maybe I should continue. Then I didn't, and I was studying, and I was going to go into finance. And then we went, and then we moved to Stockholm, and I applied to about 50 jobs, and I got this job, and I thought that sounded really interesting. So I jumped on it. I started, and now 17 years later, I have not regretted that decision.
Wow.
And it's been a ride, but it's never a dull moment. It's always something happening. And that's why you continue, I guess, and you have a great time doing it.
And you've worked and I started my career in 2006 in this industry, although it's vastly different than where I started. But what's the key? If people are watching this right now, and I see people in the comments here who are watching it, some of which are, early career, some are mid-career, some like Simon have ascended to the top of their field. Shout out to Simon in London. Another great person here. Hit that like button. Y'all get in the comments here.
Absolutely.
But how does Naran? Look at Naran.
Hi.
Naran is so interesting. We love you, Naran.
We do.
Naran's like my big sister in this business. But how does one ascend from relocation consultant entry level to being a managing director of a firm?
Oh God, I don't know. Hard work, I guess.
I need more than that. I'm not going to let you go with hard work. I need the secret. I need the trick. What's one thing you focused on? What's something that made you stand apart?
I think that I genuinely care about people. And I care about our clients, and I care about the team members, and I really want to help people and take care of people and be there for people. And I think that's perhaps the key to my success.
What advice would you give? What advice would you give to someone, or maybe what advice would you have given to yourself in 2007, just getting started? Maybe like the 4th month after you figured out what you were doing. What advice would you have given to yourself?
Maybe in the beginning, I thought it was quite difficult to not take things personally. To try to work on that. Yeah. But also show people that you care. I know that I care, but it's also, I know in the beginning it was difficult sometimes to let let the clients feel that I did care about them, that they sometimes felt that I didn't. So for us to show people, tell them that you care, that you want to help them, that you are doing your best. I think that was one thing that I learned quite early as well.
You know, and that's the flip side of caring a lot, is that you do tend to take things personally, right? And it's easy to say, don't take it personally, or have perspective and things like that, but it's hard to do when you care so much.
It is, but that's also why you need support as a relocation consultant or immigration specialist. You need support from your manager, that understanding, that they know what you're feeling and what you're going through. And they can tell you that you should not take things personally, even though you do.
Yeah, it's easy for other people to say, right? I mean, I do that all the time. I tell my team, you know, oh, it's okay, you know, or they'll tell me, oh, don't, you know, it's okay, but you know, we don't give ourselves, you know, enough grace. But speaking of support, you mentioned the word support.
Yeah.
And I want to talk a little bit about this, because you're in Sweden, and I first heard about Sweden's amazing support system and the way socially that that everybody kind of supports families and professionals when Lena was on the show. But I'm really curious, what are your thoughts around maybe a difference in perspective on the way that kind of Sweden looks at work and life?
Work and life balance.
Is that really a thing, work-life balance?
I think so.
I mean, you're working at 10:30 at night right now. How are you going to tell me about work-life balance, Johanna?
Well, my kids are asleep. I had dinner with my kids. I picked them up from school. We've had a good time. I put them to sleep, and now I'm working again. And that's actually what we do. I mean, managers moving to Sweden to manage a team, they will be surprised, because half the team will leave at 4 o'clock to pick up their kids. And it doesn't matter if it's the dad or the mom, they take turns. That's very important as well. It's not only one parent that pick up the kids and drop them off.
This is custom.
Yes.
People switch, everyone switches. So if you leave at 4 o'clock one day, you're probably not going to leave at 4 o'clock the next, because your significant other is going to be your partner's going to be picking them up. So every other day.
Exactly. And if you do leave at 4 o'clock, you'll probably log on and do some extra work after dinner or when the kids are asleep. And then you don't work longer the next day when your partner picks up the kids.
Got it. Yeah, because I struggle with this concept of work-life balance. And Tracy's coming in here. What do you think about work-life balance? Get in the comments. I want to know what you think about work-life balance. You know, do you feel like you've achieved it? Do you have any secrets or tips, like what Johanna is just saying about alternating pickup days? I mean, how do you achieve balance in your work life? Because I'm not sure that it's possible. So I'm really curious what you think about it. Tracy saying yes for work-life balance. Lucy saying work-life balance is crucial. No one should have to choose between their family and their job. I'm going to float something out here, just because this is me, right? this is how I am. I'm a contrarian sometimes, right? I was at an entrepreneur meeting last week. I was talking to a lady there. And she's like, work-life balance are for people that hate their jobs. That's what she said to me. And I said, you know what? I've never heard it put so well. You know, is work-life balance, you know, important even if you like your job?
Yes, absolutely. Because otherwise you will not like your job in the end.
Because of burnout or something like that?
Yes, exactly. And I mean, you do need a break. Everyone needs a break from work now and then. And if you can spend it with your kids, it's also much easier to let go of work and not to think about it for a couple of hours.
How do I balance the kids?
Ideas.
Yeah, like maybe too much kid time. Like,
yeah, that can be tricky though. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. What's more demanding? The kids or the boss, you know?
Or they are the boss.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We got people commenting here. Monica says you need to set boundaries with your kids. You need to prioritize your job, and work-life balance is for those who prioritize the family. I'm just kidding, Monica. I'm
family, or you prioritize yourself. It can also be like a walk in the forest, or it can be, you know, just take time for yourself. But I always feel like when I'm just working and working and working, I don't get those really good ideas that you do when you log off for a while and take some time from yourself and just take a step back. And then you can just go back into it and with a fresher brain and more positive mindset.
Yeah, it's a great point, you know, and I think it's really interesting. We start talking about work-life balance and everybody gets in the comments. Comments start blowing up when you start attacking work-life balance. This is it's almost as bad as when I start talking about people going back to the office. That's the other thing that gets the comments popping. Hit that like button, get in the comments about work-life balance. I want to know what your thoughts are. Let's see what Simon Scott has to say, Johanna. Everyone should love their life, every part of their life, including work. Although, if someone was to borrow my kids, you know, hey, Johanna, if you want to pick my kids up from school one day at 4 o'clock, you know, so I don't,
Of course.
let me know, you know.
Yeah, and you know, that's really common as well, that I pick up my neighbor's kids or they pick up my kids, you know, just to help each other out. If we need to work longer one day and one cannot pick up the kids, you do have a community around you that will help you with that.
Are people really like, are communities tight knit like that? Like, is everyone close to their neighbors? I feel like it's something we've lost a little bit here in the States.
No, not everyone, but I think if you live in a house, it's more common than if you live in an apartment. But yes, but I'm very fortunate where I live that we have a really tight community and we help each other out with dogs and kids and whatever is needed.
You know what? I would buy my kids a dog if I knew for certain that my neighbor would take care of it. I would. They've been wanting a dog, and I never thought to ask my neighbor if they would actually keep it.
You should.
Then I could get them a dog. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you know, most people want a dog, but they don't feel like they can because they don't have time or they cannot afford it or whatever.
I gotta go to Croatia, people. I can't be having a dog. Like,
exactly, but a lot of people actually want to take care of the dog for a week or for a day or for whenever.
I would sign up for that. Like if it was like school, right?
Exactly.
When you have like a school hamster and then one person takes it home for a week, the next person takes it home, you know, like we would have like an office dog, you know, and we could just like kind of bounce it around a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I could see it. I could see it. I want to go back here talking a little bit about we were talking about culture a little bit when we were talking about the neighbors and everything, kidding around a little bit there. But how would you describe? I like to ask people when I meet people from other countries, how would you describe the culture? You know, how would you describe the culture in Sweden?
Oh, I think moving here, I think it's quite difficult first to get to know people, and no one's probably not going to invite you to the house in the beginning. If we really get to
unless you have a dog.
Unless you have a dog and they need you to walk the dog, they'll probably invite you.
You start knocking on neighbors' doors. Hi, I'm new. Can I walk your dog?
But everyone's very friendly, but it takes time to get to know people, and it's going to take time before they invite you. So it's not because of you. It's just how it is. You know, it's just only really close friends that you do invite home. But you can absolutely meet people for an after work or for a coffee or such.
What are things? Oh, go ahead, sorry. Please. No,
I was just going to say it's more, I mean, as I said before, both women and men normally work, both parents normally work. It's a culture where everyone contributes one way or another. And the children will go to school and preschool, and you will have long parental leaves, and you will split the parental leaves as well, so that dads, no matter position and work, will also be on parental leave for a while. And they will pick up the kids.
Yeah, what's the parental leave policy like? We got people checking in. What's up, Louise? Ryan, hit that like button, get in the comments here. Want to know your thoughts about work-life balance, parental leave, things of that nature. But describe the parental leave common policies, Johanna, in Sweden.
It's at least for a year, because children cannot join preschool because until they're 1 year old. And most people stretch it until 1.5, and it's quite common to split it between the parents. And then you take like half time each, or it's still quite common for the mom to take longer time, and then for the other parent to take the rest of the time. But you do
So
split it.
let me understand this, and get in the comments. I want to know, if you've had kids out there, how much time off did you take after the birth of your child? I'm really curious. Was it different between the first one and the second one? Is it different, you know, if you're the mom or the dad? I'm really curious if we can, I know we don't have an enormous, you know, population. We don't have 1 million people here, but I'm really curious, you know, Ryan, Louise, you know, what did you do? I took off for, I think I remember I took off 2 weeks when my sons were born. My wife took off forever, but I took off 2 weeks. So I guess we did split it. She just took more than I took.
Before. I took a year with both children,
wow.
a year, and my partner took 6 months.
Okay. 6 months. Wow. So now when you were talking about splitting it, do you split like 1 year, or do you like alternate time? How does that work typically?
Normally you take, then if it's 1 year, you might take 6 months each, or if it's 1.5 years, you take 9 months each, or it's quite common to do what we did. I take 1 year and then he took 6 months, like he took the rest of the time.
So you're splitting it. Did you work at the same employer? Oh, you did. Okay. So
yeah, no, he doesn't work at the same employer. No.
Oh, he does not. Okay. So
no.
How are you splitting it? Like, who's paying? Is it the government pays for it, or how is that paid?
Oh yeah, the government pays for it. You get about 80% of his salary.
Wow.
Before taxes, and then they withdraw taxes from that. And then some companies they have extra parental allowance, so they pay like 10% extra on your salary on such. So yeah, you can definitely manage during the parental leave. You will get paid.
Great. And so then, as a couple, you get. Is it 1 year or 1.5 years? What's customary, or does it depend on where you work?
No, it's minimum 1 year, but then it depends if you want to, you can stretch it so you don't use 7 days a week. So you get paid less during the 1.5 year instead. So you get less money each month instead of getting fully 80% paid for 1 year.
Okay, now I have a question, and hit that like button, everybody. We're seeing people are getting into the comments here about the parental leave situation. Thank you for getting in here. We want to know, how much leave did you take after your kids were born? Was it different between first and second? Was it different between mom and dad or partner? Want to know that. But my question now is, if I move to Sweden, right? Like, I might just start having my kids over there. You know, if I move to Sweden.
You might have more kids.
I thought I was done, but I didn't realize I can still make 80%. So if I move to Sweden, if me and my wife move to Sweden with our, maybe we'll take one of the kids, and we go over there, am I instantly eligible for this leave policy, this paid leave?
You have to work for 6 months first.
I can work for 6 months and then take a year
6
off.
months. Yes,
wow.
You can. But there is a cap as well. So you cannot earn, as much as.
How many kids are we talking? What, when do I tap out? Is it?
No, the kids, it's no problem. It's more like there is a cap on your salary. So if you earn a lot, there is still a cap that is 80% of that cap. So it might not be 80% of the salary that you have. But it doesn't matter how many kids, you will still get those days.
So I could wait till my wife's like, say, 3 months pregnant. We could go over there, like, yo, get this job.
As long as you work for at least 6 months in Sweden.
Go work at Nimmersion. I know the good people. They'll hook it up for you.
Of course.
You know, okay, nice. Well, that's really cool. Let's see what people's leave policy was like after they had their child here. Let's see here. Oh, Louise. We love Louise Neal. Work-life balance is extremely hard when you're a business owner. I love my job. My kids have left the nest, but now I have 2 office dogs who love to work overtime. Do you share them with your neighbors? Let's start asking that question. Ryan Mars checking in.
Exactly.
Louise Neal saying 10 weeks for both kids.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, is that a lot or not?
It's
That's not
very
a
hard
lot.
for me to imagine that, as I took a year off. I thought that year flew by and went
2
really
weeks
quick.
was all I got as a
Yeah,
father.
Simon, you have to move to Sweden and get some more kids.
Now, let me ask you this: like, what if you move to Sweden? What if you move to Sweden now, and he already had the kids, but you still want to take some parental leave? Like, is there a cap? Is there an age that you can take it up to? Like, can I use it when they're like 4, or no?
Yes,
Yes.
but then you don't get as much paid. Then you get those allowance days. It's like $20 a day or something like that.
$20 a day.
So it's not that much.
It's not that much at all.
But you will still get child allowance, about, what is it, $120 a month, I think, for each child until they're 16.
Okay. Oh, well, okay. Ryan Marsh says, I took 2 weeks off. Unfortunately, I wanted more time. I got 2 weeks. We're seeing a lot of the dads. Dads are getting 2 weeks out here. Me too.
And that's what dads in Sweden get in the beginning when the kids is born as well. They get 2 weeks. And then it's actually 3 months that they have to use. The parental leave. They have to use. The mom cannot use those 3 months. So if the dad doesn't use it, no one's going to use it.
Wow. Switzerland is 3 or 4 months. Is it the same for the dad, Tracy? Because we're seeing these dads just get abused out here. Jonas, 4 months. That might be a record. Ben, that first day back at work after 2 weeks was the worst.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I can imagine. They're so tiny when they're 2 weeks.
Hubby took 1 week. Didn't he take a 1 week for the pool?
Holiday. Louise? Oh, my God.
Yeah, he had to use his holiday time. Wow.
Gosh.
Monica, 16 weeks was allowed, and I cried all the way to daycare. Oh, Poland, it's 12 months paid. Up to 2 years unpaid. Wow.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, that is. Oh, that's sad. This is super interesting. People sharing their. Yeah.
Yes, that's true about the taxes. But we do get a lot for our taxes. I mean, childcare and healthcare, it's very cheap. So if your children does get sick, it's free of charge until they're 20, even medication.
Honestly, I'd pay 50% tax for that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I get that. I get the. What about the childcare? You were talking about childcare.
Yeah, that's really cheap as well. So preschool is about $130 a month, I think. So it's about the same as the child allowance that you get. So it evens out. And then they get a hot meal and they get diapers and they get everything they need during the day at preschool. And school is free of charge, even private schools. There are a few international ones that you have to pay for, but otherwise schools are free of charge and they get a hot meal as well during the day. And dental care is free of charge until they're 23. And as I said, healthcare free of charge. I mean, even when my youngest one was in a hospital for about 2 weeks last year, and we didn't pay anything for those 2 weeks. Nothing for the scans or nothing. And we even got from the insurance company, we got about $50 a day just to buy some extra food, even though she, of course, was fed during that time as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, to compare that, childcare here, and of course there's a lot of different options, right? You could leave them with 80 other kids and, half a bag of lice at your neighbor's house, or you could put them into a proper, preschool kind of thing, where they're learning their ABCs or something like that. But I mean, you're going to spend, I don't know, what do people spend on daycare out there? Maybe $1,000, maybe $1,200 a month, between $800 and $1,400 a month, probably on that, which is only $130 over in Sweden. The health care, I mean, kids are getting sick all the time. You want to take them to doctors. You don't want to take them to doctors. It's too expensive. That's free of charge over there.
Exactly. So I'd rather pay the high taxes, and I feel that safety to know that if they get sick or whatever happens, I don't have to think about or worry about the cost.
Yeah, and now both parents are able to work because childcare is so affordable. So many people here are like, gosh, I got 2 kids, putting 2 kids into daycare, might as well, my wife or me might as well stay home at that rate,
Yeah, it's not worth it, right?
Exactly. We got questions about how this works, though. This is really interesting when we think about the dynamics of labor and everything. Ryan Marsh says, how do companies backfill your role when you're out for 1 year? I love the idea as a father having the ability to be off, but also as a business owner. Whoa.
I
Did
know.
I read that right?
We have one leaving on, she's going on maternity leave in 2 weeks. So we have recruited another person for that. We had to expand our team anyway, so that was a great opportunity. So we just found a permanent employer, but it's not uncommon to fill that gap with someone that will get a position for a year, and then they will probably either then be employed if you need more employees, or it needs to find another job. But it's common to just limit the time and have coverage during the time that someone was going to be out. But,
is their job protected though in that situation, or would they come back?
Oh yeah, absolutely. They come back. Yes, it's protected.
Wow,
they
super
have the
interesting.
Right to come back.
Lucy is saying in the UK we have maternity contracts where someone comes in temporarily to cover the role.
Yeah.
Interesting. Question. So when this person's going to leave for 2 weeks, you're going to miss them?
Of course, a lot. But we do talk quite a lot. At least we do with our employees, and so yeah. But we do miss them a lot.
Yeah, super interesting. People have a lot of experience with this. Hit this like button. I'm loving these comments, these questions, everyone's personal experience. To show so much better when you interact and you get involved. The last question I saw up here was about profitability. How does that affect the profitability of companies if you have so much tax and you have so many people out all the time? Like, I mean, are you able to run a business effectively in that kind of a tax environment and labor environment?
Yeah. I mean, when someone's on parental leave, we don't pay anything for that person. We pay for the other one that's going to fill the position.
You're right, because it's the government paying it, so it comes out of the tax for the income tax, not necessarily how we would be paying a higher corporate tax. Well, do you know by any chance what the corporate tax rate is in Sweden?
God,
Lena, tax rate. Somebody Google that. Sam, throw that in the Google. All right, don't worry. We got a machine that tells us everything. Don't worry.
So you don't need me.
No, we're on it. We're heading. Ryan's heading to Sweden ASAP, making some babies. I love it. Nice, Ryan. You could do worse for yourself. I'll tell you what.
Oh, you're so welcome, Ryan. Please let me know when you're here.
Yeah.
I'll show you around.
What does Ryan need to know before he ventures off to Sweden on his baby making quest?
Well, so except taxes and work and life balance we discussed, I think it's the weather. That's the most common question we get, I think. How dark does it get during winter, and how cold does it get? How many hours of daylight will I have in December?
How many hours of daylight will I have in December?
Yes. Yeah. That's a very common question for someone moving to Sweden. And yeah, I mean, in December, it would probably get light around 9 o'clock and the sun sets about 3.
Not too unlike New York. I mean, New York, where I grew up, was about 5:30. It would get dark, 5 o'clock.
Yeah, but then in June you have daylight. I mean, until midnight almost, and then from 4 a.m. So
I feel like that would make me absolutely crazy. I'd be partying like I'd be up till midnight every day. I'd be outside at the
You have to tell yourself to go to bed.
I'd be at the pool till midnight. Tanning.
You wouldn't, because it's not that warm.
Oh, okay. It's still cold.
It's too cold.
Does anyone have pools at their home in Sweden, or is that just absurd?
They do, but I don't use them that much. But no, but we can be lucky with a really nice summer. Last summer was not that great. Hopefully we're going to have a better summer. And as soon as the sun comes out and it gets warm, people basically move outdoors. We're outdoors for the whole summer. We eat outdoors. We do activities outdoors. We hang out with our friends outdoors. The kids even want to sleep outdoors. So when fall comes, you're so exhausted, and all you want to do is just to crawl up in your sofa under a blanket, drink hot chocolate, and watch all the TV shows that you missed during summer because you've not been in your house.
Yeah, just get back indoors in the fall.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
So let me ask you, is Sweden a inbound country or an outbound country?
Inbound, I would say.
People
At
are
least for
more
us.
people are coming to
But-
Sweden than they are leaving Sweden.
But it's definitely people leaving as well.
What types of industries you know are really attracting talent in Sweden?
Tech companies like Spotify, Klarna.
You guys are real proud of Spotify. You guys get a good thing going, and
Everyone knows Spotify.
let's just put it on the flag. Like Sweden is just like, here we got Spotify over here, we got IKEA here. What do y'all got? Volvo too, maybe? I don't know. Throw that on there. It's like you got quadrants.
Yeah,
You're like,
well,
what's the fourth logo
why
on the
not?
Swedish flag gonna be?
Should be Klarna.
Is that a musical instrument?
No, it's not.
What-
The bag.
The bag. Oh, okay. So people are coming in for the
It is the
technology.
bag.
You got to forgive me. You know, we ain't hung out in a while. You know, I'm a little crazy. Okay.
I know.
Naran checking in here. Swedish
fine.
summers are the best. Don't forget about
They are.
Volvo. Love my Volvo.
Yeah. I love Volvo as well.
Swedish winters are the worst. How do you stay warm?
No,
Like legit. How do
No,
you do
it's
that?
not. It's not the worst. I mean, it's really nice, but you have to do something with it. You have to do some outdoor activities. You have to go skiing or ice skating or just have a nice walk in the snow when it's a sunny day. And then you get in and you warm up and you feel really refreshed. You can build a snowman, you can do anything, but yeah, it can be a bit dark. You have to find nice activities to do. You have to invite friends for dinner and light some candles and just have a really good time.
So I had a Swedish friend in Detroit. Okay, my wife's friend. She had a husband, but you know, that's another story. Anyway, so my point is, she introduced us to something, and I'm going to get this wrong, I think, but is it glug?
Yeah, look.
Glug. I'm probably not saying it right, but it's like the sound it makes when you pour it. You know, glug, 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 you know, it's like that. What is glug? Glug.
But it's like mulled wine.
Mulled wine. Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have a good glug recipe? Am I saying this properly?
No, I don't like it that much actually.
Not a
But
fan.
I do drink it at Christmas time. A bit. Just a tiny bit with some raisins. Yeah.
Can you say the
That's
word
fine.
again for me? So
Glug.
glug. All right.
Yeah.
It sounds like a sound. It's like, is it onomatopoeia? Is it named after the sound it makes when you
I have no idea.
pour it? No.
Probably.
Okay. Lena put it. Thank you.
Yeah,
Lena.
that's
Glug,
good.
glug,
Mhm.
glug, glug, glug. Okay. Yes, this stuff is actually. I'm with you. When I first heard about this mulled wine, put it in the comments if you've tried mulled wine before. If you know about the glug, glug, glug. Put a recipe. Sam, can we get a recipe for glug?
Probably everyone from the UK has some mulled wine. I had mulled wine in the UK when I was there in December.
It sounds kind of nasty, right? Because it's hot wine, right? And you're like, ugh, you know. But I tell you what, oh man, that's not bad. You get in the habit, it's like an acquired taste, you know, it's like anything, right? It's like wine,
Yeah, it's okay.
booze, and you get going. Oh my gosh. Louise knows about it. Oh, she could drink some glue. Red wine with spices heated up, great on the ski slopes.
Exactly. Warms you up.
Yeah. Okay. So
I told you, everyone for UK is commenting about mulled wine. They know it as well.
I love it. Fantastic. Okay. We got yes, people are in here. Vinshod on the ski slopes. Very cool. Love it. You guys are the best. Great. So going back to, I want to talk a little bit about Relo. Okay, I promise people that we're actually going to talk about business sometimes.
Okay.
So talk to me about
Sure.
the state of relocation. What's going on in Sweden? What do people need to know? Give us some kind of maybe just a little snapshot of some of the things that y'all are thinking about up there.
Yeah, of course. No, things are going very well in Sweden at the moment, I think. We've had a lot of changes in the immigration law lately. They are really tightening the rules. We've done the system, but it has worked out really good.
So you said they're
uh,
tightening the rules. Does that mean more or less?
They are making it more difficult. Maybe not difficult, but they are increasing the minimum salary level, for example. They want highly skilled workers mostly to move to Sweden. They feel that the jobs that are not for highly skilled workers can be taken by people that are unemployed in Sweden today.
What's the unemployment rate like right now in Sweden?
8%.
Are there enough people to do those jobs? Sorry, what is it?
Well, I would say that most people would take the jobs if they could, and employers don't try to find employees from non-EU countries if they don't have to. I mean, if they would find someone to take it locally, they probably would.
I'm sorry, I missed the unemployment rate. What do you think it is right now, or approximately? Did you say 8? I know I'm putting you on the spot here. Sam, look that one up for us. Give me the Swedish unemployment rate. Let's see here. Simon Scott says, is there a high demand for talent in Sweden right now?
Within IT, absolutely. Like in the rest of Europe, we need developers and engineers.
Okay, so they're not just making playlists. They're actually like
they're not just making playlists. Okay. Right. They are more, and we have like, I mean,
how many Eagle Eye Cherry playlists can you make? You know,
there must be a limit. At least. No, but we have really cool industries in the north. Yeah, 8%. That's what I said.
Yeah, I cut out on me a little bit when you said it. So we would consider that fairly high, like in the U.S. Like our unemployment, I think, is around 3 or maybe 4 right now. So there's a fair amount of workers that are available.
I know, but I don't know. I'm not sure everyone's available. I met with a couple of politicians a while ago, and one of them had a really good point. And she said that quite a lot of people that are unemployed in Sweden today are unable to take a job because they might not be well enough to do it, or they have some kind of disease or a mental health issue or something else that prevents them from really taking a job. And some of them are within those 8% as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. The way the way it's calculated is important. You know, like we talk about non-farm payroll jobs, you know, we exclude people who have been looking for a certain amount of time or just aren't looking but are currently not working. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense what you're saying there. Mm. So tech jobs. And so where do you see a lot of these folks coming from that are coming into Sweden?
India has been number one since I started, I think. We had, of course, when the war started, we had a lot of people coming from Ukraine and Russia. And most of them are still here. They're now renewing their permits as they are normally 2 years at a time. US still, South Africa.
Okay.
And they come from everywhere, basically, but mostly non-EU nationals, especially for the tech industry. And in the north, we have really cool companies like they, make green steel, car batteries. There are huge factories being built in the north of Sweden. So they are doing really cool things.
In the north?
In the north, even colder and darker than in Stockholm. But
well, that's got to be good for productivity, right? If there's no light, don't even go outside. Just work doubles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think
work-life balance is for the South. That's what they say, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Lane, I'm kidding. Yeah, I'm kidding. Okay. Lane is commenting here. She says 43% of work permit holders are from India. That's really big. But did you know it's like 75% here in the U.S.?
Wow.
Yeah, I saw a phenomenal statistic on this. USI Law did a presentation on this in D.C. and I think it was 73%, 74%, I think it was, are from India. The second largest contingent for us here in the U.S. is China. I want to say at like 12%, and then every other country was less than 1% combined.
Wow.
Yeah. So you're taking our Americans, but we're not taking your Swedes.
Not yet. Well,
Not
we
yet.
have assisted a couple of Swedes moving to the US lately. So a few.
I met some in
coming there.
Detroit. Yeah, I met some in Detroit that were working in the automotive industry.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Lena saying not surprising.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. How do people how do assignees in Sweden acclimate? I mean, do they often stay permanently, or is it really for for assignments for a few years? What are you seeing?
I think they do, and especially now, all the tech companies that are recruiting is for a permanent employment. So it's not only for a short period of time. Some specialists, of course, come for only 6 months or a year. But if you move here as a young couple and you have your first child and maybe your second child in Sweden, and you see all the benefits with, growing a family in Sweden, all the things that we've talked about, they often stay, and especially for longer than they've planned. It's hard to move away from that when you have started to raise children in a country like this.
Do they? Yeah. Once you start getting on those benefits, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to find those kind of leave policies. We have a saying here in the States: if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy, and mama ain't happier anywhere than Sweden. It sounds like y'all take care of women really well there, which is why Sweden's been ranked, I think #1 in terms of places to live for women in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Elena. I think you told me that once. So
yeah, she's probably right.
Super cool.
No, it is great for women.
Yeah,
she's always right.
she is. I want to ask you one thing before we're going to get into a game here. But before we do, I want to ask you, what is the number one thing that you are looking for? And you can't say the people. Can't say people.
Okay.
What's the number one thing you're looking forward to at EuRA next year?
At EuRA next year, not the people. Oh, all the sessions.
Was there a session this past year that you found particularly insightful?
Yes. One about feedback. That was really good. That you should embrace all sorts of feedback, even the one that might not be the best. And there was also one about culture that was really interesting. It was actually Lucy that I saw here in the comments before that was moderated for that one. And we really already have really good suggestions for topics for next year. So I'm really looking forward to create those.
Now,
sessions.
are you a part of creating the sessions?
Yeah, topics. We do discuss topics, absolutely, yes.
I
was part of creating the immigration workshop for this year, and I worked with the session.
Were you part of the session that Simon hosted at the pub about Irish culture?
I don't know what he's talking about. Sorry.
Yeah. It sounds like I missed a lot. There. So I think there was a lot of feedback being given at the Irish pub at Simon's.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot about culture as well.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Full immersion or Nimmersion. Nimmersion. I love the name. Where does it come from?
Lena should answer this actually, but no, it was called Newcomers Immigration and Relocation before. So NIM is actually for newcomers immigration mobility, and then to immerse into something. So Nimmersion.
I like it.
That's it. Yeah.
I like it. That's great. Tracy was at Simon's session, gave it a 10 out of 10, actually. Very good. Awesome. All right. We've had a lot of fun, but are you ready to turn it up a notch here?
Okay.
All right. She's ready. We're going to play a game. Okay. You like games?
Absolutely.
Okay. We'll see. All right. So this game is called Overrated, Underrated. Okay. It's a simple game. Do you know how to play?
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's only 2 rules. The first rule is I will give you a topic and you will tell me if it is either overrated or underrated. Those are your only 2 options. Don't overthink it. All right. The second is I will tell you if you are correct. Are you prepared?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's get into it here.
So.
Feel free to play along at home. Get in the comments. Let us know what you think. If Johanna's wrong, let her know. If I'm wrong, you can let me know too. You might be banned, but it's okay. It's the internet. Do what you want. All right, let's get into it. The first one is herring and snaps. First, define herring and snaps for the people out there.
Oh, this is what we eat. Christmas, Easter, midsummer, any holiday you can imagine. It's herring and snaps, and it's not good. So it's overrated.
So why do
you find me at I don't know why they keep eating it. You'll find me at the kids' table. I'm gonna eat the meatballs and salmon. And I don't think actually no one really likes it. Well, my dad probably does, but he has had it at least 3 times a year for almost 65 years. So I guess that's just a
Lena
habit.
says you are no longer invited to the holiday party because it is in fact underrated. And you know what? I've never had herring and schnapps, but it's not schnapps. Is it like the drink or is it?
Yeah, it's to drink. Yeah.
Oh,
different flavors, different.
Mm-hmm. So herring is the pickled fish?
Yes, exactly. So you eat that and you drink the schnapps. I guess you have to if you're going to eat the fish.
And is the schnapps a flavor?
Mm-hmm. Different flavors.
Like peppermint schnapps is big. Like what flavor schnapps do people most commonly eat their herring with?
Oh, you have to ask someone that drinks schnapps.
Lena, what's your schnapps choice? If you are a schnapps drinker out there, get in the comments. I need a good schnapps recommendation. I've got my father-in-law coming in town, and he drinks everything. So what kind of schnapps do you get a man that drinks everything? Let me know. Simon says, I'm with Lena, underrated. You seem to be in the minority here, Johanna.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps you should have been.
Yeah, too bad.
Perhaps you should have.
I have to work on that.
Cultural session at EuRA at the Irish pub, perhaps.
Yeah,
Simon's
maybe.
a peach schnapps guy. All right. Well, it's looking like I don't really like schnapps. Cold vodka?
Yeah, sure.
Does that change? Does that change your answer? Cold vodka.
No, and herring. It doesn't change, but that could be okay.
It's the herring.
It doesn't taste as bad as the other schnapps that you normally drink.
All right. You know what? Now you're just being difficult, Johanna. Okay. I'm going to have to say, you know what? I think this one might be incorrect. I think it might be underrated. In fact, just the vote, the sheer vote from the people. They don't lie out here. Okay. Let's see if we can get it back in the next round. All right. Let's see if we can get it back. All right. Next one up. Workaholism. Overrated, underrated?
Overrated.
Overrated. Now, is this the practice?
That's coming back to the work and life balance, I think. But I mean, it's great to work, but I also think that at some point, especially as a leader, you do have to take your responsibility, make sure that the staff doesn't feel pressured or that they have to work extra long hours or that they can never have a life outside the office.
What if you put it in the job description up front? No, still no. Okay. We got 2 overrateds. You know what? You've won the people back here. Okay. We got 3 overrateds. Uh-oh. So, wait, we have another contrarian here. Sam says you should work 25 hours a day. Yeah, very good. Okay, well, you know what? You seem to be correct here. It is indeed overrated. I was on the fence, I'll be honest. It's my favorite aholism. All right, next one up. Nature, overrated, underrated?
Underrated.
How would you know if it's covered in 3 feet of snow?
No, I mean, it doesn't matter. You still go.
You still go.
And this is where you find your balance. You find your energy. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll have to take your word.
If you have a bad day,
I'm too busy working.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Sometimes you need a break. Just reset your brain.
Okay. All right.
So you can walk in the forest.
All right. You know what?
Go close to water or go anywhere.
Tracy agrees with you. Okay, we'll
Thank
call
you,
it good.
Tracy.
Underrated it is. All right, next one up. This one's gonna be a tough one. Let's see here. Reading old-fashioned books. Are these like leather-bound books? I'm Ron Burgundy.
Yes, it's like a real book, I think.
Like it's hard. Like you hit somebody with it. Like,
It's underrated. I wish I had much more time to read books. I have started to listen to audiobooks when I walk because I don't have time to sit down. As I have to walk the dog, I don't have time to sit down and read a book. So this
is
is
this your
something that
dog or
I
the neighbor's
do.
dog?
This is my dog, but it might be the neighbors as well. It might be up to 3 at a time. But
What kind of books do you like to read?
Mostly crime novels.
Same. I like that stuff, like the mystery stuff, kind of. Yeah.
So it's for vacations, airplanes. Oh, yes.
Would you care to address the
Well,
room
it's
there?
not published, so it doesn't count.
What kind of book is it?
Crime novel.
No way. You wrote a
Yes,
crime novel?
I did. Yeah, that was fun. It was so much fun. You know, you get to kill people. But only in a book.
But you got to research.
Yes. Well, if someone saw my research that I've done on the computer, they would probably wonder if I was crazy.
So when is it going to be released?
We'll see. I just need to put some final touches to it.
I feel like you've already pre-sold about a half dozen copies. Christelle's buying it. I'm in.
Oh my God.
Let me ask you this. Will you record an Audible version?
Not so sure. But I guess we have to.
Are you one of these people that thinks like audiobooks don't count? It's not a real book?
No, it is a real book. It's just me having quite a hard time. I feel it's much better to just read a book. But I know my mom, for example, she only listens to books. She doesn't read them. So I would have to audio record it for her.
If I said, yeah, I just read this really great book. I was driving 5 hours and I listened to it all the way. Would you consider that having read the book?
Absolutely.
That's a debate we have in the office here. All right.
Oh, really?
Real books are underrated. All right. Sounds good. I love it. I just spent $120 this weekend at Half Price Books buying all sorts of like, I don't know, used books, whatever. They're great. So underrated. Yeah. All right. So when is the book dropping again?
That's fine. We'll see.
Okay. All right. All right. The last one. Swedish winters. Overrated, underrated?
Oh, underrated. You just have to embrace it. But it's beautiful. Imagine, it's all white and blue sky and it's cold and you just enjoy it. And then you go inside and you have some hot chocolate and you warm up and you lit a fire and you light some candles and it's really cozy and nice. So definitely underrated.
That does sound lovely, actually. That sounds really
nice. It is lovely.
So now let's say you get a snowfall. You get a lot of snow in Sweden?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We do.
So you come outside, it's time to go to work. I know work-life balance, probably noon. Okay. You're coming outside, you're ready to go to work at noon, you got a nasty glug hangover, and your Volvo is covered in snow. Right?
Yeah.
Are you shoveling that? Do you have a snow blower like for these occasions? What's the protocol?
You're not shoveling. You don't have to go to the gym that day.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Okay. You know what? You've convinced me. Underrated Swedish winters. Never would have thought I would have said that. We do have a question here. Simon Scott wants to know ice swimming. Are you in? Are you out?
Yes, I'm in if I have a sauna close by.
Okay.
So I go in the sauna, you heat up, you get really warm, and you go out and you jump in the water, even though it's ice, and you just have this tiny hole that you can dip yourself in, and then you run back into the warmth in the sauna.
How long do you go into the water? Like in and out, like boom, boom, like that?
Yeah, maybe a minute. Not that long. And you might need some glögg as well.
Yeah, that's when you're hitting the glug. Yep. I knew it. I knew it. Did you know Louise was a competitive swimmer?
Really?
Yes.
No, I didn't know that.
She is. She was. Yes. And she
Cool.
says she is out on that.
Louise.
I bet it's fun. Honestly, you got me
fun.
so Sweden thing. But
Yeah.
it sounds
You're gonna move here, right?
We'll see. You know,
Soon.
first you dip your toe in the ice hole first, and then you take the plunge. You know, what would be my best path to getting a work visa over there?
Get a job.
What if I own a company? If I'm an entrepreneur, does that give me anything?
That's long-winded and difficult. It's much easier to get an employment.
You know, it's funny. I had the same problem when I moved to Texas that I apparently have when I moved to Sweden. It's like, no, you say you're an entrepreneur, nobody believes you. They think you're just like unemployed, and I'm like, no, like really, I have a thing. And like, oh, what, the podcast?
So much proof and evidence, and it's exhausting.
Well, this has been really fun. I've loved getting to know you, diving deeper kind of into, the ice hole that is Sweden, the economy, understanding the labor situation over there, as well as all of the family stuff. I've been convinced about work-life balance. I will leave here promptly at 8 o'clock tonight and hug my kids right before bed. Just kidding. No, this has been great. Johanna, do you want to I got calls at 4, 4:30, 5 probably.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow. But do you want to leave us with maybe just a final thought, something we should be thinking about?
No. I don't know.
Well, I just got a job offer.
Yeah.
So
that's really good.
Yeah, I'll be joining the team for 6 months. And
absolutely. And then you're going to be on parental leave for at least a year.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, Crystal has 2 dogs.
Yeah, she's like a dog savior. Crystal is. This has been a lot of fun, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thanks for getting in the comments. It's always better when you show up for us out there. So thank you so much. Hit that like button one more time. Give Johanna Lennartson a virtual round of applause there. She did fantastic here. And I can't wait to see you in person at some event, preferably in Europe.
Hopefully soon.